I'd really like to know what's in your box.
Wow! That's the biggest shift, I think, that is really driving massive adaptations in people's training.
Well, you said that you were passionate about bread.
Yeah, I love bread. 70 marathons. So Hexis was Aristotle's word for his students' understanding of how food affected their body.
Oh, that's deep.
Am I allowed to ask questions, by the way?
Yeah, you
I
can.
do this all the time on podcast. I start asking questions back. I'm not entirely sure how I became a nutritionist.
When I hear people tell stories about how they fell into work, it's like Burton Menswear or something. It's not like, I worked in Tesco for...
Is that still a thing? I was going to say, is that still a thing? It is highly, highly likely that the processed nature of the foods has a big impact on their physiology.
Could you ever categorise food as good, bad? So a good question to ask a nutritionist while they're in the room then. What do you now eat in a day? And I've been nice to you.
He's definitely sensed the room.
Dan,
Brad.
good to see you again, mate.
And you, mate.
Again, today's episode is not going to centre around you, Dan. We have a very special guest, but this is somebody that you know very well, so I'm going to let you do a little bit of an intro.
As of this year, I'd say. This year? Yeah.
Okay. Well, certainly more than I do at this stage, and I'm really excited to get to know you today, Sam, but I want you to do... Actually, I'll let you do your own introduction if you like, so...
Sure.
Oh, that's some pressure, actually, isn't it?
But just to take the pressure off the bat.
I'll chip in if he doesn't quite do himself justice.
Yeah. So, obviously Dan knows why you're here and what you bring to our viewers today, but perhaps a little bit of an intro from you would be amazing.
Sure. So I suppose the most important thing, I started working with Dan at the start of 2025.
This is true. It is
very true. In preparation for the London Marathon in April.
Oh, we've mentioned it on the podcast now. So
yeah, which as in just gone.
Got it.
So got in second time on the ballot. Couldn't believe it.
That's amazing.
I was like, "There's no way I'm getting in." Brilliant. Got the you're in email. I was like, "Oh feck, I do some training." Oh no. Right, there's a coach here who could get me through this. Right. But yeah, so worked with Dan for over the course of 2025. Did the marathon and thought I had planned to pack it in then, and I thought, I'm gonna have a year of running, and see if I can get back and set some what I'm now calling post 30 PBs.
Yep, fair.
So over the age of 30, and then I added in and a kid. So then I set a lot of PBs this year, not actual PBs, but setting
stage of life PBs.
Stage of life PBs, which
context
was
always really important.
Like exactly. So and that was so worked with Dan for over the last year to get that done. But outside of that, I'm Dr. Sam.
Oh no, we don't care about anything else.
Okay, cool.
No.
All right, well that's done then.
Just PBs.
Right, let's crack on with the episode. What do you want to know? Outside of that, Dr. Sam Impey. So I'm a nutritionist, exercise physiologist. I did my PhD a few years back, looking at essentially if you change what you eat before, during, and after exercise, how that changes the way that your muscles adapt to training. Looked at this in an exercise context, so particularly in cycling, and then kind of over the course of about a 10-year period, supported a whole load of Olympic individual athletes, and then spent 3-4 seasons working in the World Tour of cycling with what was Mitchelton Scott, and then transitioned into JCO. After that, kind of saw the limitation of like a one-person nutritionist, and built a nutrition technology platform called Hexis with another friend of mine who's also a nutritionist, and kind of another co-founder of ours who is she is a biostatistician. So she actually looks at large-scale digital interventions and runs all the statistics in that for us. So she's the clever one. And she's managed to download David and Maya's brain into what we now call Hexis, so which is good.
And how long ago was it this all started for you?
As in the Hexis?
Yeah.
2018.
So you would have been fairly sort of quick to the mark with things like AI at that point, because it's only really been in everyone's vocabulary really
since November 2022.
Yeah.
When ChatGPT came out.
Exactly. Yeah. That's certainly my usage of it. My knowledge of it obviously predates that, but usage-wise, it wouldn't have entered my sphere at all.
We advertised as an AI-powered nutrition platform. And everyone we went to went, "What's AI?
Yeah, what does that mean?"
Yeah. What does that even do?
Yeah.
So they were like, "Take it off," because no one understands it. So then we went back to, fuel your performance. Every athlete's unique. Hexis, and then
Did it have a name originally?
It was just Hexis. Yeah. But the AI powered nutrition was the strapline. And then come November 2022. All our investors were like, "Put AI back on it. Put AI back on it. It'll be worth more. Just put AI back on." I was like, "All right, cool." dig out all the old slogans, put AI back on it, off we go.
And it made a big difference, you think, then, that kind of the explosion of AI broadly? Is that brought more eyes?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Everyone's like, just assumes that your platform can do all these wild things now, which, like, when we started, we were like, we can do, we make a prediction. So we take in your training.
Yep.
So Dan writes me a training plan. I sync it with my Hexis, and then I get a fueling plan every meal for as long as I've got training for.
Updates in real time.
Yeah, updates in real time, fully dynamic. Like, the whole idea is it needs to be reflective of your life, right?
Okay.
And updates as it goes. It recalculates as it gets more information. Fine. And there's an AI component to that, and we were like, listen, we can do this, and everyone's like, oh, that's cool. I don't really understand the AI bit yet, pre-November 2022, and then and now AI's come out, and they're like, so can it learn and do all this? And we're like, well, yes, but like we're also not open AI. Like, we're not worth 1.8 trillion or whatever.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like, it can. Just give us a minute.
Yes.
We are getting there, I promise. But the expectation's gone from like, oh, it can do some calculation stuff, to like, it knows what I did 2 weeks ago last Thursday and what I should do in 5 months' time.
Can it get Will Smith eating spaghetti? I suppose is the question. That's the kind of benchmark of AI, isn't it?
Will Smith, have you not seen that?
No.
You both looked at... Okay, so I
I've
panicked thinking, you have no idea what I'm talking about here.
There's this like reel that goes round. I think Will Smith eating spaghetti over the past 5 years.
It's got, from 5 years ago now.
Yeah. And it's like, when AI started and his face is all like terrible.
17 fingers.
Yeah,
okay.
and it's like, and then it just, it moves on as it's developed, and then moves on. Which is kind of probably what Hexis has done over the 5 years, really.
Fair. Yeah.
I feel like that moment, though, was indicative of how you spend your time online versus how we spend our time online. And it wasn't a great advert for us, was it?
No.
You know what I mean?
Intelligent levels.
I try to spend, I'll be honest, I try to spend as little time online as possible as well.
I think
That's
that's a good thing.
That's the other thing. So.
Well, the point I was making is it's now completely discernible from reality, I would say, the kind of Will Smith eating spaghetti, which is very frightening. But
no, but it's a nice comparison, because if you mentioned AI 5 years ago and Will Smith's face is all over the place, and I'll be thinking, well, your food app's probably like similar.
Bit
Why has
wonky.
it got photos of Will Smith in it? It might be
At least it's food oriented with spaghetti, isn't it?
I take your point. Yeah, I take your point.
Yeah, so now it's like, oh, it's this, like, it's basically the same as real life.
Yeah.
It's insane. Okay. Well, obviously, as soon as I realised what Hexis was, I could see why there was a synergy between you two. But is that how your relationship started initially?
Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah.
I reached out. I reached out to you just as my wife she's run 70 marathons, so she's
hang on a minute.
Just cash.
Like, politely, with respect, how old's your wife? Like 70.
30. Oh, hang on. 4.
Oh,
Steady.
We have got editing capabilities on this podcast if we need to go back.
So can I put in 33 and 35 just in case? So then we've got all.
Go all the way through, and I'll just put the right one in.
Cool.
You let me know after. But
Appreciate that.
per year, when do you start to achieve that? And how many per year? Like, how does that work?
I think she did her first one into 2011.
Okay.
In Liverpool when she was at uni.
Yeah.
And then stopped for a couple of years, and then was like 7 or 8 a year for a good chunk of time.
That's amazing.
From a coaching point of view, though, Dan, 7 or 8 a year. How do you train, taper, perform 8 times a year?
God,
what would Coach Dan say about that?
I know that is a lot of marathons.
Not a lot of training, I should say, as well.
Yeah, it is achievable, though.
Yeah.
Because actually, think about it, it's 56 weeks in a year.
Okay.
So there's, I don't know, you sort of got to take out the week before and the week after, really, for like tapering and resting. So then it's 14 weeks a year. So there's quite a lot left. It's doable. Spencer Matthews just did 7 in like 7 days. Still for 20 days. I mean, he's pretty tired after, but like, yeah.
She did 4 in 4 weeks. That was for a charity thing.
There you go.
That was the highest. That was the highest density of.
Incredible.
Because it's not even one a month, and I'm not trying to discredit the fact that she's done. It's still amazing.
Be careful, Dan. Yeah.
But if that was your, and obviously she's going to do some faster and most are just for fun, completely different places around the world and things like that. 100%. So it's a way to see the world, I suppose. 100%. But yeah, it is definitely doable. But like you said, you haven't really got an open opportunity to get much faster. You'll just become faster off becoming more aerobic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
She
I get that.
actually her quick. So she's her quickest time is 2 steady 3:27.
I did.
I know,
Sorry. No. Sorry. 3:27.
To anything, I was about to go.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But
Amazing.
327 is
327
yeah.
is moving.
In like
Like-
athletics clubs, it's very like people will be like, that's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like good, like real good. But I think she set that when she wasn't doing all that much stuff on the road, but was doing loads of swimming. It's just like a bit of base condition. I think a bit of time off feet and some just lower
Some rest.
Some rest. Some like lower base stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
actually
yeah.
led into like a pretty decent
Yeah.
pretty decent time. But so she's got 2 stars left. So New York and Tokyo are the only
Wow,
ones left to
until
do. So
haven't they just released another as well?
there's like 3 more.
And then
now,
they
but-
keep releasing,
Yeah,
and then there'll be
yeah.
10 before we know it.
Yeah, but oh no, we've got to go to Cape Town. What
Yeah.
terrible.
Life's tough sometimes.
Sounds dreadful. And
Yeah,
Sydney
you
as
do
well.
a lot of travelling though. So.
Anyway.
So yeah, I interrupted that story, didn't
That's
I, a little
all right.
bit? So
Yeah,
that was
no, that's all
that was the engagement point, wasn't it? So your wife
Oh
was
yeah,
the
yeah. So she's in local used to run with Droitwich AC, or still runs with Droitwich AC. So obviously local celeb in the running and endurance running and endurance community that he is.
Not just Brad thinks that. Brad
no.
thinks that a lot.
So yeah.
I don't think that at all.
Yeah.
I think I introduced you on episode 1 as Worcester's favourite endurance coach.
Favourite, yeah, that's better.
Favourite was the important
Favourite,
bit.
yeah.
Take that.
Brad's favourite endurance
So
coach.
The whole concept of the show really was that we would have like an intrigued amateur and then like a professional that you might ask questions to. But at the end we just settled for Dan.
I was going to say, but he couldn't
He
find
didn't
one.
turn up,
Yeah.
so Brad texted me and I
Yeah,
went, I'm coming. I'm
That
coming.
person didn't show up and Dan was available on the day. So
I was just running past.
Dan's coming in.
yeah.
But yeah, no, that was it.
Yeah.
You just reached out on Instagram. And I actually genuinely, funny story, thought it was like a sales marketing thing.
Oh.
Because it was Hexis.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it might have been Hexis.
Might
that.
have been Hexis,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I was a bit like, oh, there's an AI tool on here. Some just
But you-
mass messaging. But I've applied.
I did want to bring that up because it does sound very, very corporate, Hexis. So I wanted to just
Yes.
understand
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk me through that a little bit if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah, just the sort of thinking behind the name. You're a co-founder, so there's kind of other people's input, right?
Yeah.
So just let us know what you thought.
Hexis was Aristotle's word for his students' understanding of how food affected their body.
Oh, that's deep.
See, I'm already upset because you've made me sound stupid so far on this podcast.
No.
And I just set that up for a home run. Brilliant.
So
Ancient philosophy.
it was watch someone research that and be like, I think you'll find.
Yeah, no, that's it.
We would like a
But
steward's inquiry where we can.
Yeah. Please fact check that. But no, there was. So it's actually David who found the name originally. There is actually an academic paper written on it. It was in sports science literature many years ago. It's not very well referenced or thing, but he came across it and was like, "That's a really cool name. Quite like that." So,
Total makes sense. I understand.
and something a bit different. So we've been through like 3 or 4 marketing agencies, and we've had other people who are like, "You should change it to fuel something."
Fueling.
Yeah, they're doing well,
I know.
They're killing it. Fair play to them.
They got good marketing, haven't they?
Yeah. So, but like but we were like, we're going to stick to it. And actually, I think I'm quite glad that we did now, because it's fairly unique anyway. So
It's certainly unique, and I did do a bit of research, but I didn't find that. So I wonder if there's an opportunity for you to actually do a bit more of an education on the heritage and the name.
yeah, maybe.
Only because as soon as you said that, I sort of my trust in you went up another
Yeah,
notch.
I'd agree.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, that's
There's more depth.
Yeah, decent.
Yeah, it's like a good opening pitch.
Yeah, okay.
I think so.
All right. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
going to do that.
Yeah.
We'll update the website.
I think so.
it's like trusting.
It's at least an FAQ.
It's not
which should
just
be somewhere.
it's not just me and my mate said fuel, the other one said in. You know, I'm not slating fuel in, and I'm not trying to. But you know what I mean? It's
Sure.
like
yeah.
I think
or A1 Physique. You know, it's like club coaction. You know, it's just like
don't take it.
I'm joking.
Don't drag me. I don't want to catch a stray in this room. A1 is the best, and physique is a physique. Okay, we can work that out together.
Not ancient philosophy though. Is it?
Start.
I'm curious about coaction though.
Oh, so coaction.
There are more.
Back in
Am I allowed
18.
to ask questions, by the way?
Yeah, you
I
can.
do this all the time on podcast. I start asking questions back.
Back in
Yeah.
Look, so when Jesus was around, He once referenced.
He used to run between meetings. Funny story.
Zone 1 run. Zone 1.
So actually, it's a friend. A friend came up with it. One of the original sort of like coach members. I was just saying I need a name basically when I started out, and he literally just said, "What about correction?" And I was like, and I said, "What's it mean?" And it actually genuinely means collaborative action.
Yes.
So that, apart from no one can pronounce it. Yep. The amount of times on microphones I've heard club coaching.
Coaching is
because you literally see it looks like club coaching, and I'm like, that's not too bad actually.
Could be worse.
It could be worse.
Yeah.
Club coation. I get quite a lot.
Coation.
Yeah, I think it's just a quick mind.
It's because it's not a typical word. Whereas,
and they also cut people then hyphen the coaction.
I was going to ask about that.
But that is an actual dictionary word. But in club just makes it sound friendlier.
Club.
Yeah.
It's inclusive.
Yeah. So it's
very
community
driven.
The whole thing is basically, I always believe that coaching is a relationship, and you need to. It's not just a dictatorship where you're just telling people what to do. It's collaborative action to get what you want.
There you go. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like it.
But I need some more ancient philosophy in mind.
Yeah. Can you help us out? Is there anything you can drag up for us?
I'll go and do. I'll see what
Moses was once working together with some people at land.
We have the same problem with physique, by the way. People can't spell physique. I think it's not a word that's written very often.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I agree.
I think with Hexis, because it's so...
You are in my phone, Brad. That's coffee.
But your lack of ability to spell, it doesn't represent the whole country. That's it's slightly different.
You should. Yeah, I'm moderately dyslexic. Well, our WhatsApp channel's hilarious. My wife is like, "Are you talking code?" I was like, "No.
You don't.
I can read it, and you can read mine, but no one else can read it."
There was one the other week, I think, actually, when we were chatting, and there was some terrible stuff.
Oh, there's dreadful stuff. Yeah. When I was writing my PhD, I completed Word. So you know the little squiggle underneath?
Yeah.
I got about 180 pages in, and I literally got a notification saying, I can't do this anymore. Word honestly checked out of spelling my...
The little paperclip just decided not to talk
honestly, the spell checker went, listen, you're on your own from here. Good luck. But I've done as much as I can do here. It's the only time I've ever... I don't know anyone else who's done it either.
I love how we've given Microsoft Word its own personality now. It's got this sassy little inter-monologue going, I'm out. I won't put my name.
I'm done.
I'm not putting my name to this work.
This nonsense. I'm out. I can't carry on here. Put me under too much stress.
If only you had some AI.
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Well, I was curious to find out where all this passion started for you.
Yeah.
So, maybe pre all of this, when did you realise this was going to be for you?
I'm not entirely sure how I became a nutritionist. Is the honest answer. So I love sport. Grew up mum was a tennis player, squash player, hockey player. Same for dad. Grew up in South Wales, played rugby. I everything. Every Monday to Friday was a different sport in school, like basketball, athletics, football, rugby. Actually, no, I didn't play football. That's a lie. I'm dreadful at football, but I would have if they'd asked me to. Yeah, I would have had a crack at it. Just love for sport and activity and surfing, anything, just happy outdoors, like a Labrador. Just let me outside and I'll just sniff about. I'm pretty happy and just kind of crack on for a while.
Good.
And so kind of wanted to go and do sports science at university. I quite enjoyed, I did chemistry, physics and PE at A level.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a mix.
Yep.
Didn't do very well. School wasn't my thing, which is odd for someone with a PhD to say, you think, but school wasn't for me. So, but went and did sports science at Liverpool John Moores. Loved it. Stayed on and did a master's in exercise physiology. Actually went and I spent a year doing cardiac stem cell work and how that related to how the athlete's heart changes and that sort of stuff. Massive step away from actual exercise, but really good for fundamental biology and that sort of stuff. And then it was kind of a PhD came up that was funded by Science in Sport, with Professor James Morton, who's absolute legend in the field of what we were sort of calling at the time kind of molecular exercise physiology. So looking at the actual biochemistry of the muscles and the substrate utilization, changes in blood parameters, that anything like that, but all related to the interaction of nutrition and exercise. So went and did that PhD. So I don't know if you remember the Whey 20 gel that SAS had a few years ago. It was 20 grams of protein in like a yogurty gel format.
Okay.
So
I do, yeah.
That was the first project of my PhD, was like validating that. So we had the early formulations. We tested it to show that basically if you train fasted, but you take these gels, you can essentially maintain the same amount of like fat oxidation. So you train fasted just to temporarily increase fat oxidation for a little bit, like use it as part of a structured training plan. Great, it's not for everyone, but if you do want to, there's a good reason for it. But you could take on some protein to like prevent the associated breakdown in muscle mass, or you don't want to like compensate on any of the like protein oxidation, that sort of stuff. So you could take this protein, didn't suppress fat oxidation, so you could still get the adaptations. And we kind of had a couple of little projects around basically using protein during endurance exercise to look at some of the benefits or what the trade-offs were. And that's from there I sort of fell into becoming a nutritionist, because I was like, oh, this is actually really interesting. I would say I'm a physiologist, but I use nutrition to manipulate physiology.
Amazing. What a story that is, by the way. Like,
story,
but it feels like,
Solid.
there's like a parental influence to a degree, that kind of sportiness. That's led you on your own path of being kind of all-encompassing in sport. And then, again, before talking to you today, my thoughts were sometimes there's a sort of theory behind, the theorist and the specialist is someone that does the sport, but it's not their front and centre goal. It's more coaching role, almost like your sort of job. That makes sense. But again, it feels very organic, that process to you. When I hear people tell stories about how they fell into work, it's like Burton Menswear or something. It's not like, I worked in Tesco for...
Is that still a thing? I was going to say, is that still a thing?
I'm showing your age.
Well, I think I'm in good company for age, but...
I was just going to say, I reckon I've got a horrendous grey suit from there from when I was about 17.
It's because that was when you say fell in, I fell into that job through a work experience placement. So that's like we have...
Oh, you worked there?
I did.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But again, we have different skills.
I worked at River Island.
I worked at Hollister temporarily.
Were you one of the topless
Yeah, I was
ones?
about to say that.
No. Definitely not. I know one of the lads who was though, and he got flown around the world and paid a fortune to go and do all the openings.
Way.
So fair cops to him, like, whilst they did look like wankers, a lot of the day.
Who was flying around the world? Wasn't that
no
famous?
Hollister?
Oh,
Yeah. Because they did loads of openings.
Who were you thinking?
Yeah.
Well,
Jeffrey?
Yeah, well... I'm sort of
I
hesitant
could
to...
see that in his brain.
You said, young, handsome man, topless, flown around the world. I thought...
I just thought I could
It
see
doesn't
what,
take long to draw the line.
see what's going behind his eyes.
Onto a slightly
I don't know how we got to that.
Well, yeah. I'm going to
swiftly on.
drag us back into sensible waters now. I suppose I'm always keen to understand those that understand things in the scientific way. So I think what I see from Dan is his understanding of adaptation and fitness plays its role in his own adaptation and fitness. So for you, how do you see the knowledge that you've got around nutrition and how it's synthesized in the body? How does it support you, I guess, is my question.
Yeah, so
your own training.
The biggest thing, I think, I mean, it sounds obvious, right? But actually doing it is quite difficult. Is if most people go, pick a number, 2,500 calories every day.
Yeah.
3,000 calories, 2,000, whatever.
For me, about 5,000, but
5,000. Yeah. So pick your number, right? And that's just because it's easy to do, and you kind of fit your training around that. Some days you'll be overfueled, some days you'll be underfueled, but at the end of the week, you'll probably work out close to your goal. Like if that's maintain weight, increase weight, lose weight, whatever it is. But that's generally the binary outcome. Traditionally in nutrition, right? And I think the biggest thing from my research or what we showed is that actually you're significantly better off by matching days. So if you're going to, on days where you've got big runs with VO2 blocks, that's going to be a higher energy intake and particularly a higher carbohydrate intake. So you should have more carbs and more energy on that day. The following
Not
day,
the day before.
No.
Okay.
Not unless it's a race.
Okay.
If training in the context of training.
Okay.
And so, and then the next day you've got a bit of yoga in the morning, and you're doing some what's it called, like a bit of auxiliary stuff, like injury prevention in the weights room, some light kettlebells, that like movement pattern stuff, but like not hugely energy expensive, but you're putting a little bit of resistance through your body. Fine.
Yep.
Much lower total energy day, much lower glycogen demand, so much lower carbohydrate demand, but you still need a good amount of protein and just to facilitate all those bits and pieces, right? And so that's the biggest shift, I think, that is really driving massive adaptations in people's training. I think that's what's moved on the average speed of the peloton and has hugely improved the Ironman times and all that kind of stuff. It's not just really good training methodology now, but it's actually aligning the nutrition with the training that you're doing.
Yeah.
Would you say if you were like, I don't know, just take out 3,000 and on that day you only burn 1,500, where's that 1,500 going? You're going to store it.
Your excess, you'll store it.
So you're saying match
capacity.
it because then you're not. Well, then there's no capacity to just stick it into fat.
To an extent, yeah, but also the surplus of energy throughout that entire day will dampen the adaptive responses in your muscle.
Yeah.
Anyway,
fair.
So it's about matching the energy requirements, because you don't want to be under.
No,
then you're
definitely don't want to be under,
because then you're not going to recover as well, and tomorrow's session will be compromised, and that will compound. But the idea is if you match it, then you're not dampening any of those adaptations, so they operate at as high a level as they can without being dampened by a surplus. But you've got enough energy in to facilitate that recovery, so that then you kind of match it to the next day. So there's it's thinking about the interaction of like adaptation and sort of total body mass type way. So, and that's I suppose like I try to do that as kind of as a function of my days generally. So if I've got a longer run, like if I'm going to go and do 90 minutes, even if it's low and slow, but 90 minutes, on a Sunday, like over 1,000 calories. Whereas I'm going to go and do some. I'll go and do some back squat tonight, for example. Much lower kind of total calorie cost. I'll heavy back squats, so there's a bit of a focus for recovery for me. So, but I'm not going to need an extra 1,000 calories in my day. I might need an extra 300. So that's the biggest difference for me, is trying to create that swing day to day, depending on the training that I'm doing.
One thing that I'm really curious about. Did you? Sorry.
Specificity, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
We talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it is. It's being specific.
Yeah.
It's not just basically it's stop pissing in the wind with your nutrition and just be specific.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah.
And if you want to do that, there's a really good app for it,
which we're going to definitely come on to. I was just curious. One thing you said there, which caught my attention, is that the overfuel has a dampening effect, and I wondered if I could just get you to expand a little bit on what you mean.
Yeah. So essentially, it comes from kind of metabolic data, sort of biochemical data, where what some studies have seen is that if you give like way more carbohydrate intake, but also kind of energy intake than you need for a recovery period, the sort of biochemistry that is active inside your muscles, the sort of adaptive responses. So very specifically, it's the production of mRNA, messenger RNA, which then goes to encode for new proteins, and then those new proteins are added into your system as part of the adaptive response. So not just like contractile proteins, but mitochondrial proteins, structural proteins, enzymes, all that kind of stuff. And if you have kind of way more energy than you need, the production of those mRNA, that messenger to go, hey, create an adaptation, is reduced.
Wow. So my 5,000 calorie days are really not good for me.
It depends on what training you're doing.
I've got to do 50k, haven't I?
You talk about your YouTube videos back in the day.
No, I'm not talking.
Brad's got some eating videos on YouTube.
I'd just like to say I did manage to eat 10,000 calories in a single day.
But that's pretty good.
That's good going, isn't it?
For entertainment purposes only, I might add.
Yeah.
And
Obviously not adaptation purposes.
I didn't eat very much for the next few days as well.
Fair. Yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by A1 Physique. Now, all throughout these episodes, you'll hear Coach Dan and myself talk about the importance of recovery for your training. Nothing better than collagen for instant recovery from really intense workouts. Ligaments, tendons need repair. And by encompassing this in a morning daily coffee, it becomes the easiest supplement to add into your daily routine. Available from our website, free shipping, and each cup is giving you 21 grams of that nourishing collagen protein coffee, perfect for athlete recovery, and endorsed by Coach Dan himself. So as part of researching for this episode, Sam, I did a little bit of researching on you.
Sure.
I read your Business Insider interview.
Okay.
When was that?
Which one? Humble brag. Which
rubbish.
one?
Oh,
Right, start again.
Which one?
No.
Which one?
Well, the reason I brought it up is because something stood out to me that I want to ask you a question about.
Sure. Is it the one where I like talk about what I eat in a day?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Well, you said that you were passionate about bread.
Yeah, I fucking love bread.
Well, but what I mean is,
I like bread.
okay,
Oh,
firstly,
Love bread.
bread. So, where do I start? Okay, so as a nutritionist, I thought bread would have been in the category of the bin, basically,
Nah,
Wha-
see,
why?
for nutritional
why?
profile.
Why?
Well, because
That's just because you listen to all the bodybuilders talk.
Okay, question for you: gluten,
Yeah.
protein.
Yeah.
You were wrong. Told you.
No. I don't remember this conversation.
I said that gluten is a protein,
Yeah.
and he said it's not, and so I just want to get that on record. But so when I eat a pizza, I say, look at all this protein I'm eating because it's the gluten. So, but I'm just curious about.
Yeah, but it's not
So
okay.
you specifically then said sourdough, didn't you? That was your
Yeah.
kind of kryptonite almost,
Oh,
if
I
you called
love
it that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where's your go-to spot for sourdough? Because I love sourdough.
Not Worcester.
Is it not Worcester?
So there's Pete Cook's bread.
I was going to
on
say.
the high
Oh yeah,
street.
that's all
I
right.
almost
they-
guessed that was going
they-
to be your answer. Yeah.
They go all right. They go all right.
Okay.
It's not my favourite loaf. This is. I feel like I'm going to get judged for saying this. There's a
Tesco.
There's one in Waitrose called the Alex Good sourdough in Waitrose, which is
Hasn't he got the? Is that the guy who
fucking
has the
phenomenal.
shops?
I don't know. Not sure. You might do.
I feel like I've heard that name.
Anyway, but it's like it's a dark and rye sourdough. It's super consistent in like the texture, the crunchiness. Sourdoughs have like a bit more of a chew to them than like normal breads do.
Yep.
Chew's good. Like you get nice air pocket size, so they write that you can tell that it's risen slow. They rise it very slowly. That's where you get bigger, like the bigger air pocket things. And it makes an incredible BLT sandwich, which is like my like go-to lunch thing. I also this is gonna open up such a can of worms.
Please do.
So I genuinely believe I'm in the top 1,000 amateur sandwich makers on the planet.
Is that a thing?
I made it up a while ago.
Good.
I've got zero evidence for it, but I reckon I make fucking good sandwiches for someone whose job is not to make sandwiches. It's a very that's why amateur sandwich maker.
I feel like you need to drop one of these off on a Friday when we're in here.
I'll bring you guys a proper a real
Next
high,
time, when you're on next time.
a real high. I'll bring some real high quality BLTs with me. They are honestly, I make a really good sandwich.
When you started your next business,
Yeah.
we'll bring you on.
I've
Sandwich making.
Done. I'm in. I can't believe I've admitted that in public. That's
I love it.
horrendous thing, but I'm gonna share
Sam's
it.
sandwich box, I think, goes by.
Done. We're in.
Yeah, we have to think of some Aristotle kind of name when
Yeah,
we
that's
like
true.
for sandwiches. 'Cause
That'd
you
be
can't have
some for bread.
Hexis and then Sam sandwiches, so you can't have that.
This is true.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay.
I've actually got a friend who makes fantastic sourdough,
Okay.
so there might be a bit of synergy here. So I might
Love
kind
it.
of elbow and see if there's a little thing that we can do.
Right.
where-
Cut back.
No, but there's definitely a thing that can happen here. She might rock your world with the sourdough, mate. You never know.
Yeah.
Love
There
that.
you
But
go.
yes, I'm hugely passionate.
Where's
about
the
bread.
best sourdough you've had?
ever?
Yeah.
Ooh, is it in a foreign country?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have some, like, if you can find, I mean, Denmark, outrageously good on bread. Like, outrageously good on bread. There's some really nice ones. I had a really good one in Seattle, like a little artisan place. But yeah, probably Denmark. Yeah, they've got some pretty mega brod.
Love it.
Love
Well,
it. I didn't see the podcast going that way.
I mean,
Yeah,
you should have seen it. We've got
I
a
should have,
nutritionist
yeah.
in, and I'm going to talk about where to get the best stuff.
The best
Okay.
food. Yeah. Fair.
But I sort of alluded to a wider point there, which was that, and you said earlier about, categorizing categories in a binary way, calories in a binary way, that's really easy for people to manage. And the same way that food gets labeled as good and bad. So I'd kind of said to you there, you know, bread, for all the things we would have ever seen and heard, is like a sin. How dare you eat bread? But I wondered from your perspective, could you ever categorize food as good, bad?
No. I mean, like...
I know that...
I was just going to say, sorry, like, a pack of lard, like, flat out. If that's your dinner, I'm going to go ahead and categorise that as bad.
But again, context is important here, because if I'm doing a trek across Antarctica, good.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, that's a good point.
Okay,
that's a good point, yeah.
And so...
If you're doing a trek across Antarctica and you've either phoned me or listening to me on a podcast... something's gone really wildly wrong there at that stage, I think.
Pray.
Anyway, so
pray at that point.
But no, that's actually a really good point. So yeah, I missed the context.
Where did that come from, Brad?
Do you know,
that's probably one of the smartest things I've ever heard you say.
Don't be nasty.
I'm being serious. That was quite. I was like, I didn't. You know, it's a good comeback for lard.
Good context. Yeah.
Oh, but I could ruin it now by telling you why I know that.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to ruin the?
Go on.
Okay.
Because I thought it might be because I like Spencer Matthews the other week and stuff like that.
No, it's basically. Growing up watching Top Gear, they obviously do those expeditions where it's, you know, James May does the slow, awkward route and Hammond and
over the ice or whatever.
And so there was, I think he was with dogs across the ice, trekking across the ice, and Jeremy Clarkson's in the car.
Yeah.
And he's eating these massive 4,000 calorie bars going, well, in Antarctica, I need to stay calorie high, right? But obviously not if you're sat in a heated car.
Sure. Okay, yeah.
But obviously James needed that for like fuel and nutrition.
Yeah.
So my head went straight to... I guess...
No way.
What it tells you about my
Jeremy
personality...
Clarkson. Smacking it home again.
Well, exactly. But what it tells you about my personality is that I'm always looking for ways to justify overeating as a general rule. And so I just have to go and slog myself.
Sourdough and lard for this.
Yeah. They're both on the list, and you said they're not in the bad category. So I mean,
we don't have bad categories. So
wow. And so
how about?
Is there a Venn diagram of categories though, where you kind of have like goodish, badish?
Well, I'd always go. Sorry, go on.
So it was hard, like. Highly processed,
yeah,
microwavable meal, something like that.
Yeah,
you know,
probably not great.
We're talking pound from Iceland, but it's context.
So
it's better than not eating.
Iceland caught us straight, didn't they? There, Christ.
Yeah.
Christ.
Other brands are also terrible,
and also available.
Welcome to the BBC.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah, but the context of that, right? What if someone's budget is a pound?
I know. It's
the thing, isn't it?
It's better than not eating.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't the science more correlation than causation on processed food? Actually,
no, it's pretty correlative. Causative. Pretty causative.
Really? Okay, so again, I might be wrong, but when the stuff I'd seen, and clearly don't trust me, showed that people that, you know, there's a correlation between the health impact, the sort of quality of life or quality of health of people that eat processed food, but that could be a lot based on the other decisions that they also make, not the food causing those issues. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
is there any truth in that at all? Or?
It is highly, highly likely that the processed nature of the foods has a big impact on their physiology.
Wow.
So it's the simplest way to think about it is like, the most direct like interaction is probably like with the gut microbiome. So like you don't like things like the reason people sort of say if you can get 30 different types of fruit and veg in a week, I can't. It's fucking well asked.
30?
30,
Wait,
30 is hard.
Can we name 30 between us?
Wasn't the famous
Tim Spector, who's
Tim Spector. He got a lot of of last year,
epidemiologist.
Didn't he?
Yeah. So, but like that came from Thing. Could we name? I was like, I'm going to move on from this just in case I can't.
I've got 3.
Yeah. Black beans, mango beans,
banana,
kidney beans, banana. Haribo. Oh wait, no.
Haribo cherries.
Yeah. So
Krispy Kreme.
But the like getting, and the reason for 30 is like all different plants have different types of fiber and different polyphenols, and so they have different bits of good stuff.
I would have a devil's advocate to that you wouldn't have access to those if you didn't live in certain places for certain times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Contextually appropriate.
So I would say that statement of 30 to an English person really in the winter. I mean, there's no way they saw
I mean, unless you want to pickle every fruit that comes on the trees in the summer and be like
potatoes, is about the only.
Yeah. If you want to eat seasonally as well, and so, but the point is like that's kind of how you get like that's probably going to give you a really like good diverse microbiome that's healthy in that. And a lot of the processed foods have emulsifiers in. Emulsifiers are pretty bad for the gut microbiome generally, but it keeps the texture of the food. It stops all the water from separating out. It stops the fat from separating from the proteins and that kind of stuff. So there's like quite immediate, tangible things like that that do have an effect. But it's kind of whatever the doctor who wrote a book on it and stuff who's incentivized to sell his book, so there's a narrative message there. But anyway, different story.
No, yeah.
But his the whole point of the thing, he's kind of like, look, it is best to avoid processed foods, but that's a socioeconomic decision. The guy who wrote it is upper middle class and has a good job, and he can do these things. He lives in the part of London where anything, all this fruit's available. Yep. And so there's like a whole like
Iceland. They get it from Iceland.
Yeah. You leave Iceland alone.
Yeah. No, it's a boost for them. I'm trying to get it.
It's just an attempt at retribution, isn't it? Okay, that's really good for me to know, because I think I sometimes personally make decisions that are more time-based than perhaps health-based, because my thoughts were actually that it's more correlation, not causation. So I'm just gonna go and have a mild panic attack now about my diet.
Yeah, you'll be fine. But get some fresh sourdough on the way back.
Yeah,
yeah. So a good question to ask a nutritionist while they're in the room then. What do you now eat in a day?
What do I now eat in a day?
That's hard though.
I mean...
Honestly.
Yeah. So I got a bread maker for my birthday in October.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Not just someone who walks into your house and like starts.
No.
Cool, that is a socioeconomic.
Yeah. The app's doing really well. I'm fucking loaded. Bless old Pedro, gets it early doors. Cannot leave that in. That's hilarious. That's terrible.
Poor Pedro.
Yeah. Bless him. Why Pedro? Could have said anything.
Yeah, I thought you'd gone
Steve.
Danish.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Olaf or something.
Yeah, Olaf, yeah. Great shout. Yeah. Can't remember the question. What do I eat in a day?
Yeah.
So this morning I had. I was doing quite well this morning. So I had a couple of slices of bread that I put it on timer, so it made it. It started making it at 4 o'clock in the morning, so it was ready at 7.
Cool, that's good.
So I worked. Yeah, that's
good.
I opened the bedroom door and like,
what
smells like fresh baked bread.
Yeah,
that's mega. So anyway, I had a couple of slices of that. One slice I had with a bit of. I did pretty well today actually. I had it with some like a spicy avocado smash. Like I brought it like pre-smashed, so a bit processed, but we'll go with that. Yeah. We'll
pre-smashed avocado.
It's like avocado
guac,
and chili,
like,
and it's kind of like guac. Yeah. So I should buy fresh avocados, but I mean they're absolutely
they're a bit of a pig to cut open.
They're not in season, and it was a speed decision. So, but I had that on one slice with a bit of kimchi on top of it.
Cool. This is microbiome.
It was good. A bit of fermented foods, and then on the other piece, I had like a bit of a dessert slice of bread for breakfast this morning as well. I just had some homemade dams and jam.
Oh, I thought Nutella was going to come out there.
Oh no, mate! The dams around Droitwich and Fernal Heath and Worcestershire in general are phenomenal.
Hey, there you go.
Get on it.
Get on it.
Noted.
Good start.
Yeah. So had that, and then very quickly squeezed in a run before I came here, which is why I was sweating when I came in, not because I was nervous. Just jumped out the shower, and then I had a protein shake, and I'm gonna go and have probably some scrambled eggs or an omelette when I get home, and then dinner. I've got absolutely no idea yet.
What's a typical dinner though for you? Are you thinking about it consciously about having certain things within it? And is it day dependent, actually, as we talked about?
Yeah, we do, because Katie and I do a reasonable amount of exercise. Like, we do pasta probably 2-3 times a week.
Yeah.
Variants of pasta are everything from like a pesto with some chicken and some broccoli through to a slow cook. A couple of weeks ago, I did a beef ragu. A beef rib ragu. So, like, I got some beef ribs from the butchers, slow cooked them.
I think I've seen that on your Instagram.
Oh, mate, it was mega. took the
He does every now and again. You do get these rogue posts, and you're like, something big's gonna happen.
yeah. So it's like slow cooked them, and then took all the meat off it and made it, and then like slow cooked into a ragu, which is pretty mega. A sausage pasta's a big fan in our household. Carbonara in the summer, just a little bit lighter, or like some prawns with some like cherry tomatoes. Just throw them into a pan with a bit of oil, bit of chili, bit of garlic. Prawns in at the last minute, and then pasta water and a bit of parmesan creates like a little kind of nice sauce, and toss spaghetti or something through that, and away you go.
Sounds amazing.
It does, doesn't it? I'm
really
hungry. Like, I'm getting.
But it sounds time
Oh, we
consuming.
had Gordon Ramsay on the show for a minute.
It's time consuming to me, but I don't know if I'm just
That's all quick.
Some of the like the ragu thing, but that's like a weekend job.
But that's more like prep.
So-
It's not. It doesn't require a lot
No,
of
it doesn't take a huge
faffing.
amount. No,
It's just
Okay.
like
so bit of prep, bit of chop.
I should tell my wife to step up a bit. Is that what you're trying to say?
So, well, I'm the cook. I'm the cook in our
Oh,
house.
wow.
So yeah,
Pedro
does
most of
Bless his little heart.
But now you're putting it on me. I've got to go home and do all the cooking now. So.
But generally, like I think about it in. I try not to think about it in ingredients. I think about it as a protein, a carb, and then a vegetable.
Yes.
And then it doesn't really matter whether it's salmon and rice and kimchi or kale or whatever, and then you just do some honey and soy on the salmon, or you make a dressing for whatever it is, or if it's like get like some of the like thin beefsteaks from from supermarket, and just flash fry one of those pretty quickly and have it with some mashed potato and some beans or like whatever's in. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just like, for me, it's just protein, carbohydrate, and vegetable.
Yeah,
and it doesn't. I'm less concerned about like go and look up a salmon dish and then check if I've got all the ingredients, because that's really time consuming.
Yes.
But I'm also very lucky that I'm passionate about. I enjoy. It's cathartic for me. Like if I take 40 minutes to make something in the evening for my wife and I enjoy it, and our son or whatever, I'm like, great, that's 40 minutes. I'm really happy. So I'm very lucky in that that's a thing that I enjoy doing.
And you travel a lot.
Yeah, I travel a fair amount.
Yeah.
So
like just spent was it a week in Calpages?
Yeah, it was 5 days. Yeah.
Like so, it's just the nature of your bit like job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you trying to offer this service to these massive companies or massive teams, you've got to go and be present. So having 40 minutes at home with the family is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's that, you know, centralising like that. It's a joyous occasion, isn't it? You know, come home, cook.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Whereas like, it's not always, you know, you got to see, and I don't think we do that enough. I certainly don't. Food is more than just eating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it is. It's like a therapy.
It's family time, as
It's
you say.
family time, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, like obviously your kids, you know, as soon as your kids are old enough, it's like, well, just chop that, or maybe not chop, but peel that, or, you know, like what can they do? I don't think we don't do it anymore. Like it's not a British, it used to be like a British pastime, really, didn't it?
We have just bought a toddler tower for Bonnie at home.
Toddler tower.
And so she can stand.
We've got one of those.
Yeah, apparently that's quite a good thing to get them involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I just tugging at your child's leg anyway. Just want to get involved.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
One question, I do really want to get onto X Analytics next, but I've got one final question which I think is really important because it will be good for anyone watching today. Is there anything specifically that you've seen lots of people take in then, diet-wise, that you think get that out of your diet now? Anything it's snuck its way into culture somehow, and you think, I really wish people didn't do that?
God, it's a good question.
It is a good question, that.
Yeah.
There's some dog shit protein coffees floating around.
I was fighting. I was fighting, saying collagen.
Yeah, no, I was
fighting, and you went and did it.
I was like, no, come on, I know.
And I've been nice to you.
He's definitely sensed the room.
No.
Everybody listening is crying right now.
I'm of course joking. No. Do you know one thing I was quite glad to see move on, and I think it has.
Yeah.
Is the what do they call it? Like the bulletproof coffee, like
coffee
with
MCT oils,
with
MCT.
coconut oil in, or MCT oils and stuff.
Oh,
that used to.
Oh mate,
I never got involved
about
in
10 years ago. It was
Yeah,
huge,
it was a
wasn't
while ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there used to be people. Everyone was like, "Oh, I'm cooking.
Got bulletproof coffee.
Yeah, bulletproof coffee." I'm like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck? What are you doing?
what is that?
It was
What
coffee.
are you even doing?
Coffee, butter,
Yeah,
butter.
or coconut oil.
or coconut oil,
Yeah.
and MCT oil.
Yeah.
Well, MCT oil has just got some really good. Did you read the study? in the altitude.
Yeah, MCTs. Yeah,
it's good. Yeah,
so there's
was
not that many of them in coconut oil.
Oh, no, no. You can buy MCT oil.
Okay, yeah,
but mate, I use it sometimes, and it's separated. It's
minging.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there was a study that came out, and it was based on altitude training,
okay,
and they supplemented with quite a lot of MCT oil, and they found that basically everyone just got fitter.
Right,
it was a good study actually. It was a good read.
Decent.
Dan Plu's talked about it on one of his podcasts.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Must be legit.
Must be, yeah.
Must be.
That's the barometer for is it legit? Has he talked about it on the podcast?
But that was because like it was a while ago. So as I say, I'm glad to see it move on. But they're like, I know I saw a few like athletes, and I saw a little bit of online stuff. But like there was loads of people who like cooking everything in coconut oil. I'm like, why?
It's
just saturated fat.
Yeah, I thought so.
It was big for a bit.
And also, I don't want everything to taste like fucking coconuts.
Yeah, coconut it's a bit of an acquired taste. I mean, Bounty is often, the one that's left at
I
Christmas.
quite like a Bounty.
Yeah, I don't mind a Bounty.
It's grown on me, but it's got to be with dark chocolate.
I certainly don't want my chicken tasting like coconut.
No.
Or my steak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was glad to see that move on.
Well, we did light a fire under your belly then a little bit, so it was nice to see. We know exactly how to piss you off, which is good. But I want to talk about X analytics now.
Sure.
So I feel like, again, from my research, which, we can score my research at the end if you like. I didn't know what date you did your interview, but that's the bit that people listening today would be potentially most aligned with at the start. Because that's the bit where you learn, as far as I can ascertain, it's the bit where you learn your own, and I guess, analysis of what would you call it? Would you call it a blueprint, passport? What would you call that thing that you get back, that analysis?
It is your body's ability to absorb and burn carbohydrates from external sources, gels, drinks, chews. Everyone has a limit of what they can take in and burn, and we measure that limit for you. And then what does that translate to? Well, if you're going to go out and do your event, your run, your bike, then there's no point in doing 120 grams of carbs an hour if your body can only absorb 60.
Where does the other 60 go if that... So if you were doing it incorrectly before, what's happening to the other 60? Just complete waste, or?
Some of it could just sit in your lower GI tract. And if that happens, that's generally when you start to get problems. Gut problems, GI
Code
distress.
brown on the run, is it?
Code brown on the run.
No one wants code brown.
Is very, very common artifact of that. Otherwise, it can move through and be just like held in other tissues. When you stop running, it can start the recovery process as well. But for most people, it is significantly better for them to fuel with an amount that's appropriate for what they need and not more than what they need, kind of going back to some of the stuff we were talking about earlier as well.
And so what proportion of the population from your data are in that higher realm versus the lower realm? Is there a real divide? Is there a typical range?
We've seen I'll give you a really good example. There's a study. So Jamie Pugh, who's the co-founder of the company, he spent his kind of last decade or so researching this, a very accomplished researcher. He published a paper where they had a whole load of like sub 230 marathoners, and they measured their exogenous carbohydrate oxidation capacity. And so physiologically and from a performance perspective, they were pretty similar. They were all bloody good runners, and they're all a bit pretty similar. There was a 50% variability in oxidation
in just that small group.
In that group, yeah. So there was people who could absorb and burn 90 grams an hour, and there was someone who was limited at 45 grams an hour.
Wow,
it is crazy. Like so, literally, Valencia obviously was last week, and you speak to, I don't know, Alex Yee. When you're a pro, you have bottles, don't you? And you can put in what you want and stuff. And he clearly had quite a high carb intake when he was doing it, because he had a lot of bottles, and it wasn't just water.
He's got quite a high heart rate, which you discovered as well.
Crazy. Did you see his heart rate?
I know.
He averaged, so it was like 160 from the bat.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And then it went up to like 175.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty high from the start. I was quite surprised with that.
Fair.
Yeah, and I was like, but then I did think,
what's his like lactate threshold as a function of his VO2 max?
Yeah,
be like 90.
Yeah, and also,
wouldn't it?
Like if you think about his racing normally,
this is what happens when sorry.
I love it.
So he obviously, I was talking about that on the podcast, that he normally races ITU standard distance. Like they literally are killing themselves from the gun.
Yeah.
So his heart rate's probably higher than that on the swim.
Yeah, probably.
And then it's only getting worse.
Yeah.
If anything, comes down a little bit on the bike. So it's actually normal for him to be there. If we were to do that, I mean, not you. Your heart rate
I'm fine. Yeah,
your heart rate's high.
I'm at that now.
Yeah, but if we were to do that, we'd be flogged a little bit, you know. But no, you could get used to doing it, but then normally suggests that he'd be burning more carbs, he'd be in glycolysis for longer. But anyway, so what I'm moving on to is I had an athlete who ran a 224 at Valencia. He only had 4 gels.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Because he can't stomach it.
Yeah.
So it's safer for him
that's
to go
that's
under.
a better option.
Than going, I'll have 12 just because I watched a podcast and XYZ had this much.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And I love those people. I want them to continue to tell people to have this many, continue to throw it down their throats, because more people will get it wrong than get it right.
And then they need a coach.
And then they need exo-analytics to get it right.
And then a club co-action.
And then a place to go and do it.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
So, my mind went straight to, well, surely if you can do 90, 100 grams, you're in a better position to perform better because you've got bigger fuel tank to fill up, right? Potentially is my thought. But that's not theory. It's not the case.
Yeah, it's like theory,
yeah. But it's in theory, but not in practice.
So you can... It's not like a switch like on and off type thing. So like if you went through the process, so say you were limited at 60 grams an hour of what you can absorb and burn, right? Without having any symptoms, because symptoms and someone's ability to burn not correlated at all. So just because you don't get symptoms doesn't mean that you are absorbing and burning all those carbs.
Understood.
That's a big caveat as well. I'm the lived example of that. I'll tell you that in a minute. So say you went through a period of like training. So you kind of, on your long runs, you kind of progressively trained your digestive tract to kind of absorb more, or you kind of push that ceiling a little bit. So you're doing two things. You're training to remove or prevent symptoms more generally. But it seems like you can also increase the amount that you can absorb and burn as well.
Interesting. Okay.
So, and that, once you start doing that, again, this is like the whole thing of like, is it that one thing or is it a combination of that and probably better quality training because you're now fueling better for each training session? So there's probably a bit of an interaction piece where you're probably accumulating better quality training that compounds with then being able to fuel with carbohydrates more effectively. So your 224 marathoner in Valencia will have had that crossover point where fat became the predominant fuel source over carbohydrates much earlier in the race than if he was able to fuel with 4 gels an hour instead of 4 gels in total, if that makes sense. So when
so like the same as you talking about, there is still there's still a couple of people plugging the fact that becoming more fat adapted is a thing and can really help you, as much as there's people going eat more, get more carbs. There's still people saying, well, just get the right amount. If not, keep doing a bit of faster training, get your body used to it, increase mitochondria. You know,
why not do both?
Yes, why not do both? Yeah, it is. It's being smart, isn't it?
Yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by A1 Physique. Now, all throughout these episodes, you'll hear Coach Dan and myself talk about the importance of recovery for your training. Nothing better than collagen for instant recovery from really intense workouts. Ligaments, tendons need repair. And by encompassing this in a morning daily coffee, it becomes the easiest supplement to add into your daily routine. Available from our website, free shipping, and each cup is giving you 21 grams of that nourishing collagen protein coffee, perfect for athlete recovery, and endorsed by Coach Dan himself. When you came in today, Sam, I actually saw that you brought a little box with you.
I did.
I'd really like to know what's in your box. Wow.
Said box.
Very
Blue Petery. Here's one I prepared earlier.
Most people wouldn't know what Blue Petery
I thought we might have had some tinsel around it, given that it's Christmas.
I know. Sorry. I should have done a bit of tinsely bits. Right. Hang on.
Wow. Okay. So is that appropriate?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Do it again.
Okay. Wow. Oh my goodness. You also sound like a spooky little.
Can we do the intonation where the intonation goes up as the box goes up?
Okay. Wow.
You're better than me.
Wait, have I got a career on stage?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Very good.
Great.
Mine's spooky because of all the Stranger Thing episodes.
That's it. You
recently.
did.
Yeah, that's what you've done.
Honestly, I can't walk into rooms at the moment. It's like I'm a bit scared. I was on the turbo and I turned the lights out and I was like, don't like this.
That's why I don't watch it.
Yeah, I honestly don't.
No,
It's
not
scary.
interested. Exo Analytics. So that's the company that does it. You very soon be able to do it with Club Coaction,
Wow.
which is exciting. But it's essentially, it's pretty simple. So you get a...
This looks very scientific already.
Yeah,
This
so
is great.
you get we get some glass tubes, and these are for collecting breath samples. So you literally, we give you a little straw, and you blow in.
I did not expect you to say that, by the way. I was thinking, who's peeing in that?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, which is, yeah.
Has anyone ever sent you back one with pee in it?
Be like, that's a reasonably good shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a reasonably good
Challenge
shot.
accepted, but
Yeah. So collecting breath samples. So you collect a breath sample 2 before and 2 afterwards. There's a nice little foam lined postage box. So that goes up to our lab. And then we use isotope ratio mass spectroscopy.
Spell it.
Yeah.
Dan's got a really bad record of spelling anything.
Yeah.
IRMS, isotope ratio mass spectroscopy.
There we go. Don't help him out.
So we do that, and basically we give you some carbohydrates, which are in these pouches here. So there's 45 grams of carbs in each one of those.
Okay.
And then it's a 90-minute test. So if you want to test 90 grams an hour, you put 3 in. If you want to test 120 grams an hour, you put 4 in. And then you have put those into a bottle with some water, make it up to 750 ml, and then you have 125 ml every 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yep, through a 90-minute test. You can do that on a treadmill or on a bike. On treadmill or turbo, I should say.
All this comes through breath, and you can do breath work to find out how it's being.
Yeah, so we measure your breath before and afterwards.
Yeah.
And then what we do is there's a little metabolic mask in here, which is very, very small and neat and tidy.
Wow.
So is that one, and then the sensor, which picks up your oxygen and CO2 component, is that, and that clicks on the front there. And we put this on you for the last 10 minutes of the session to capture your body's total carbohydrate and fat burning at that moment. So we've got your total, because remember there's carbs in your body already. So you're going to burn a mixture of what we give you plus what's inside your body. But what we give you is from a source of carbohydrate that is naturally high in carbon-13. So most carbon is carbon-12. Carbon-13 is ever so slightly heavier, and it's made by plants that have a lot of state 4 photosynthesis. So corn, for example, very common example, has a lot of carbon-13. Well, not a lot, but more carbon-13 in it. It's completely stable. It's very safe. Like, it's a non-radioactive isotope. Well, an isotope, so it's just slightly heavier than carbon-12. So we know how much of that was in your breath before you started. Just before you finish, we also then know what your body's total amount of carbohydrate burn is at that moment. And then we collect a breath sample afterwards. So because we know how much carbohydrate we're putting in and how much of that carbohydrate has carbon-13 in it, we then know that C6H12O6 plus O2 goes to CO2 and H2O. That's not an entirely balanced equation, but for the purposes, it works.
It's good enough
so you understand the metabolism, and then so that CO2 goes into your blood, comes out through your breath. That's why we collect the breath afterwards. We've then got amount of carbon-13 in your breath before, the amount afterwards, the total amount of carbs that you're burning, and then we can back calculate to figure out how much of that came from the sources that we gave you, and that's your exogenous carbohydrate oxidation capacity.
Wow, I actually followed that as well. I want to add.
Good.
I did follow that. I was with you the whole time.
I'm glad that made sense.
Good. And so you sort of alluded to, this is not like a self kit. You do need some assistance with it.
You can do this at home.
You could do it.
Yeah, you can do this at
Okay.
home. So this actually very specific kit is actually going to go in the post to someone literally when I leave here.
Brilliant.
So you can do it at home.
So if you're really curious about whether, to what extent you do, can take on the fuel, this is the kit to get.
Yeah, you can do it at home on a turbo or on a treadmill. What we're actually finding is that a lot of people go, I could do it at home, but it's a little bit daunting, and I think I'd like someone just to give me a hand who knows what they're doing.
Yep. So you get a Dan.
So we get it done.
Does it have to be Dan?
It doesn't.
I don't.
Doesn't have to
What I don't want to do,
It
Sam, is ruin this pitch by the caveat being you have to get a Dan, and then people being put off. So.
It doesn't have to be a Dan, no. But yeah, the kit is like again, it's just kind of how confident people feel about kind of doing it on their own. So that's honestly
some people
where
would
it is.
be like, yeah,
There's
I'll crack it out.
lots
I imagine lots of people wouldn't.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
But
but I think it's also like it's pretty new.
Yeah.
So like nobody's heard of this. There are 2 companies globally who do it. We are one of them. The other one is also based in Birmingham, hilariously.
No way.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, just up the road from the
There you go.
University of Birmingham. Yeah, so they started running it, and the same company operates. They have a site at Exeter Uni as well. So they're five times the price of us.
Just gonna say,
Oh,
but
wow.
I imagine they charge you
A
for
little
it
bit more. Yeah.
So
for the same thing.
do you want to tell people what it costs and where they can get it if they're interested? Because I do think there's a chunk of people listening to this that are quite interested in that.
Yeah, so you can obviously, you can get the home test kit from our website, Exoanalytics, just exoanalytics.com or .co.uk, excuse me, sorry. You just pop Exoanalytics, EXO Analytics, all one word, into your search engine and you'll find it. We've had a few like running influencers. So Ben Felton,
I did see him on yours.
yeah,
Yeah,
we tested him. So there's a kind of his journey to running his PB at Chicago, where we gave him his number to hit, and then he kind of went and did it, which was awesome. So there's some kind of people kind of who've documented their experience with it. When you do get the kit, you also get sent like a step-by-step, like do this first, then do this, then do this.
Good.
There's a video that you put on for the 90 minutes. So you literally put it up on your phone and it counts down from
Watch
90.
it. That's clear.
But then like at it counts down. So at like counts up, excuse me. But so at 15 minutes, screen flashes like take a drink.
Got it.
So
Yeah.
like it guides you. We guide you through the whole process. So, but it can still feel a little bit, cause some people might be like, oh, that's 350 quid, I should say as well.
Okay.
Because it's also like that's quite a substantial.
It's an investment in yourself, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
but like
one pair of super shoes these days.
yeah, but actually could save you messing any race up ever again.
Well, the cost of a ticket, the cost of the travel, the
Yeah.
hotel, and the shoes to get a code brown or a DNF.
I mean,
You know what I mean? It's
Also, if you're taking 2 gels or 3 gels more than you need to on every training session, on every long training
2 years.
session.
if you use
probably
the
a
stuff
year's
that
worth
Dan
of gels.
recommends, that's a mortgage. Yeah.
yeah.
Everything that he recommends me is 85 quid each. So
So there you go. You can save the money that way. But yeah, it's an investment in yourself, and like we're okay with the fact that like that might not be for everyone, and that's absolutely fine. Like if it's something that you feel that it's going to improve your performance, mega. Like or you have issues with it, or you're just curious, then it's phenomenal. Like that's for you. The other option is you can go to Dan and do it as well. So and then he has the kits.
we'll oversee it basically.
Yeah, Dan will oversee it. He's
just
done it
saves
before.
saves doing it on your own, doesn't it?
You'll be more
And-
experienced delivering it as well. So
Correct.
again, it's the kind of removal of any variables is quite important for anything scientific like this.
Because it's simple
It's a control,
until
isn't
it's
it?
broken.
Simple until it's not.
Yeah.
It's just when you said breathe into it, I thought, oh god, I know it sounds simple, but I would feel nervous about just what now? You mean? No.
Yeah.
I don't know why. but-
Have it. Yeah. Also,
And
because
have you had many who? I mean, I'm sure if someone failed, you'd be like, oh, okay, here's another kit.
Yeah,
Good luck. But have you had many back that you can't process? Has that been a thing?
One.
One. There you
Yeah.
go.
Just one.
Yeah, just one out.
Are we naming and shaming, or
do you know what? the thing was, we were actually there.
There you go.
I was actually on site when it happened, so we don't even. It was like a freak.
Oh, okay.
We don't even know how
Just
it
didn't
happened.
work, yeah.
But one out of we must have run over 100 tests.
Yeah.
So we're at less than 1% failure rate at the moment. So
That's great.
Good. Okay.
Perfect.
Great efforts to try it out, I guess, if you're interested.
yeah. So but look, I mean, I think it's I think this will become part of
Yeah, I think it's priceless. Like genuinely, I'm not just trying to sell it just because Sam's on it, but like to know the exact carbohydrates you can intake. I mean, how priceless is that?
Well, if you think about people spend at the moment money. One of our early episodes on podcasts was about wearable technology.
Yep.
Because obviously the fascination is the data that you can accrue.
Yep.
So you have companies like Whoop or Garmin that can give you a suite of information which is extremely useful and addictive.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously the money that people spend on that is in the billions, isn't it? So it's within the realm of reasonable. I think you may be did that a little bit. I think it's actually more accessible than we've probably made out.
Yeah, because technically you've only got to do one, but then depends how much you love it and how much you want to know, because you can adapt. So I don't know, 1 a year would be like a minimum thing, and then like 2 if you're really building for like 2 big races or something.
Pro athlete, maybe.
If you're if you're like a pro. But
the only caveat I'd give with that one, I reckon, is so 1 a year is probably going to suit everybody.
Yes,
like 1 a year will absolutely suit 99.9% of people. What I would say though is, if you're going to go and if you're going to train all winter in the cold, but your first race is in the hot, then
you're going to burn more calories.
Actually changes the body's ability to
quite
burn
a lot
exogenous carbohydrates for a number of reasons. So you could test normally, and then you could test in the conditions that you're going to race in, and you'll probably get 2 different numbers. So it might actually be that, particularly for if you're going to train in a cooler environment and race in a hotter environment, that's probably worth simulating that hotter environment to find out what your race fueling strategy could be. Because if you take on the amount that you can in ambient conditions, it could be up. It's about 20 to 25% reduced. So you now have that surplus. So you're increasing the risk of getting gut issues and that kind of stuff as well.
So in the heat, you can take on less, you think?
In the heat, your body's ability to absorb and burn it is reduced, yes.
See, that ties in with me taking gels in a half marathon and feeling like nothing was happening. That again, I might just be making up my own excuses, but I really felt like there was nothing happening.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. Could have been a big suppression. And again, that's also individual.
Yeah.
Some people could be a 5% suppression. Some people could be a 50% suppression. That's the wonderful thing about physiology, right?
I'm more intrigued than I've ever been. So
we'll get you tested.
We'll definitely get it in. I think.
Tested.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I don't mind being the guinea pig.
But bike to run as well. We've seen a shift. We tested a pro triathlete just before his first pro race, actually. He had a great race in Copenhagen, and then so we tested him on the bike. On the bike, he was around like 100 and 105 grams an hour. Okay. We tested him on a run to simulate it, though. What we had him do is get up, go and do 2 hours of riding first, come in a
depleted,
not completely representative state, but a lower lower glycogen state than,
because you just don't want him to come in
fresh, because that's
absolutely ruined.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the other thing. So you still had a 90-minute run, and his run number was like 60.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's quite common though. I think people do try and replicate what they're doing from bike to run. It's very different.
Yeah. Okay. So different mechanics. As you run the run, your digestive tract is physically going up and down. So there's
there's a physical element.
There's a physical element.
But your burn is higher, arguably. So
your burn is higher. Yeah.
So then you're like, well, if you're not getting what you need in on the bike to keep things going,
there's a whole strategy for trying.
You're done on the run. You're done before you even put a foot on the ground. So if you're under fueling on the bike or over fueling to the point where you are filling your stomach up, before you've even started running, you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, not a better sales piece out there than that for you, I think. So I think a perfect way to kind of summarize today's episode. Obviously, want to thank you for coming on. It's been absolutely brilliant. I'm going to cut out everything nasty you said about me, so no one will ever see it anyway, which is great.
Appreciate it.
And you're absolutely welcome back anytime. So thank you very much for joining us.
We'll have to do a sandwich heavy episode.
Sandwich heavy.
Next time there'll be a sourdough in the middle of the room, at least. As
homemade one.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Kevin.
Lovely.